You are listening to the 90 Days Later podcast with Anna Charles, episode 180. Welcome to the 90 Days Later podcast, where we talk about what really happens when you take a break from drinking. And it turns out to be the best thing you've ever done. I'm Anna, coach to high achievers who are done waking up with regret and ready to feel in control around alcohol. If you've ever wondered what your life could look like with less wine and more you're in the right place. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. My name is Anna, and for those of you who don't know me, you're so welcome to my little corner of the internet where we talk about drinking less and tactics to do that and ways to do that in a shame-free manner. So today we're going to be talking about a question that comes up all the time with my clients and is probably one of the most often spoken about things on my discovery calls, and it may be one that you have been quietly asking yourself too. And it goes like this: my life is great, so why am I drinking like this? Now, as I said, let's get this straight. This is incredibly common, but it is also a tricky question, I think, because there is judgment baked into it, right? It's like saying, I shouldn't be struggling. I should feel grateful. What's wrong with me that I still want wine at the end of the day, right? Any sort of flavor of that. But today I want to offer you a new perspective, because this question, it isn't a sign that something's wrong with you. It is a sign that there's something deeper, right? Something deeper is asking for your attention. Now, here's the truth. When we reframe this to look at the real issue, actually what we're talking about is identifying the piece of your life that you are tolerating, right? Something that isn't working. Now, listen, this doesn't mean that your life is bad, right? In fact, you can have a lot of amazing things in your life and you can still be like, you know what? There's something not quite right here. There's something not working for me here. Maybe it's subtle. Maybe it's the fact that your calendar is crammed and you haven't had a real moment to yourself in days. Maybe it's the sense that everyone else's needs are always at the front of the line and yours, well, maybe they don't even make the list. I see this a lot with my clients. We're looking after elderly parents and we're supporting our children through university applications while having a full job. We kind of get squeezed. So it's quite possible that it may just be that you are putting your own needs on the back burner and doing it consistently as part of the habit. So why the wine? Well, let's say it like it is, right? Let's just be real about this. That glass of wine at the end of the day actually isn't about the wine. It's about the relief. It's about the permission to stop. It's the boundary you didn't feel you could set, right? It's the way you mark the end of doing, mark the end of giving, mark the end of achieving. But that reward, because we start to see it, right, as a reward, this boundary isn't random. Doesn't just appear from nowhere. It's something that's learned and it's called coping. But here is the good news. This doesn't mean that in order to change, you need to blow up everything in your life. Phew, what a relief. All you have to do really is to start getting curious. You will have heard me talk about curiosity before, but if you're asking yourself this question, right, my life is great, why do I need to drink? Curiosity is absolutely the key because it's where change begins. Change does not begin with judgment, with feeling judgy, nor with blaming ourselves. So I want to maybe start by asking some honest questions. You can pause now or re-listen to this or jot these down, but answer these questions. Why does this boundary that you've created with wine, why does it feel so necessary? Why does a drink feel so necessary? How is having some kind of reward at that boundary helping you to cope with certain things in your life? What parts of your life maybe right now don't feel quite so sustainable? Where are you putting your needs on the back burner or even last? Where are you overextending yourself? Where are you not allowing yourself to rest? Now listen, these questions, they aren't just reflective, they are revealing. And this is where we get a shift. I want to really help you have a shift from this sense of reward to a sense of respect for yourself, right? Most of my clients just say the same thing. They just want to feel better, right? We want to feel better about all of this. And they're often surprised when the answer is not solely about drinking less. Yes, that is a result that we create. Yes, yes, yes. But that is not everything. It is not the big thing. The big thing is about living differently. It's about realizing that what you are craving at the end of the day isn't a drink. It's a change of state. And there are so many powerful ways to create that, ways that don't leave you foggy or frustrated the next morning. Simple things like giving yourself 20 minutes of alone time before re-engaging with the family, listening to your favorite music with no multitasking allowed. Right now, my go-to song when I'm feeling a bit frazzled is Kings of the Wild Frontier by Adam and the Ants. Yes, really. I'm going to see an Adam Ant in concert in November. It got cancelled last year. So that's currently my go-to song. And I tell you, when I listen to that, I feel reinvigorated. It creates all those old associations of being carefree, being a teenager, when all you did, right, was put yourself first. So really do that. That's a great one. Listen to a piece of music, and it doesn't have to be Kings of the Wild Frontier. But if you're an Adam and the Ants fan, or used to be, you might want to put that one on. It's a good tune. Other ways of creating space for yourself. Lying down. Literally flat on the floor for 5 minutes to reset. Maybe you want to text a friend. Just reach out. Connect with another human. Or you could say, I've done enough for the day, and mean it. And you could write that down. This is actually quite trippy how well this works. I've done enough for the day. And allow yourself to get to that state here, because see, the key is an action. It isn't just the action, it's the intention behind it, right? Which is again connected to why do we want the drink? It's not to have the drink, it's the intention behind it is to just say, that's it, I've had enough. Sometimes the biggest changes you make aren't about your external life at all, right? Because we're looking outside, we're saying, I've got all these great things going for me, and yet I still react in this way. And again, it's not those things, it's how we're positioning ourselves in our life. There are much less to do. It's much less to do about restructuring your life and just more about changing and letting go of this internal dialogue, right? The dialogue that's full of shoulds and musts and have to. Even I should be grateful for this. Think about that as a lie. I should be grateful for this. Kind of pours cold water on any gratitude you might be feeling. So when you shift your inner voice from harsh to honest, right, you can be saying the same thing but in a non-judgy way. When you stop believing that you have to earn the opportunity to rest, that you should be grateful, that you stop flogging yourself, whipping yourself with that. When you let go of the idea that everything must be done well and done by you, that's when this search or a desperate need for a barrier to mean something, that sort of goes away. It begins to soften and you start to feel lighter. So I want you to really treat yourself like you matter. I want you to start learning how to stop putting yourself last, right? This is about letting go of impossible standards that you don't request of probably anyone else in your life, right? And this is about stop ignoring your needs and start treating them like they matter. I want you to imagine this. Just try this on for size, that you stop waiting for someone to notice that you're overwhelmed, right? We don't need anyone else to swoop in and rescue us. You stop needing a glass of wine to signal that the day is done. You start giving yourself what you need before you hit breaking point. And we start to do these things. We start to give ourselves space to appreciate the life that we have, right? The piece that we're not paying attention to because we're so caught up with dealing and trying to cope with the things that aren't going well for us, right? Which is why we're then seeking solace in that glass of wine. If you start doing these things, this is not indulgence, this is integrity. And this is what changes your relationship with drinking. It's not force, it's not willpower, but by respecting yourself so deeply that the wine just isn't needed in the same way. So if you're sitting there thinking, why do I still drink when life looks so good? I want you to start here. Ask, where am I still putting myself last? Because that's the power is in the answer to that question. And if you're ready to start making changes, go to 90dayslater.co/kickstart. And there I'm going to give you a free guide it's a kickstart guide to drinking less. But if you are saying, look, Anna, I am ready. I am so over being stuck in this internal narrative. I just want to change my relationship with alcohol. I'm ready. I'm going to do it. Then let's talk. This is what I do. I can help you. Go to 90dayslater.co and you will see a box there. Book a call. Click on that. Get a time. It is free. We'll talk about where you are and where you want to be. And I'm going to build for you on that call the exact map to get you there. This is the most amazing thing. This will change your life. I really look forward to speaking with you. Otherwise, I will meet you all here on the podcast next week. If this episode hit home and you're ready to explore what life could look like with alcohol in the back seat, let's talk. I work with people one-on-one who are ready to create the relationship with alcohol that works for them, so they feel powerful in their choices and at peace with their habits. Go to 90dayslater.co and click on book a call, or grab one of the free guides in the show notes to this episode. And if this podcast is helping you, a rating or review goes a long way to help others find this work too.